Okay. My name is Opie. I'm a recovering alcoholic. They got me 3 drinks. First, let's give a hand to the people who cooked the groceries. And let's give a big hand, especially for the committee and Athena. My full name is Philip Raymond Oppenheimer. I'm German Jew and Indian too. When I was drinking, the German in me was dictative, the Jew was cheap, and the Indian was a savage. I have been in and out of the program 11 years when I first came, 11 years in and out. I just didn't get it. I didn't want it. I came for the wrong reasons. I came so that the wife wouldn't run away anymore. How could she leave an awesome man like me? I came so I could keep a job. I came to impress my friends, but I did not come to sober up. Nope. Going to a meeting and sitting at a meeting for a whole hour is a long time when you want to boogie. When you want to fight and carouse and be in that miserable life. So I used to sit at a meeting and then hear these people, my name is so-and-so, and I'm a happy, grateful alcoholic. I'd say, up yours. How dare you be happy around me? So I was busy. Oh, there's a message. I was busy looking outside of self. I'd look at somebody with a leather jacket, and in my mind I'm going, so you think you're tough? I should take you out after the meeting and beat the shit out of you. I'd look at somebody with the part right down the middle of the hair like that, and I'm going, the son bitch doesn't even know what side to put his part on. And then I'd look at somebody with a suit on like a businessman. I said, so you think you're rich? Wait till after the meeting and I'll roll you. I did not look inside. I didn't want to look at myself because my greatest fear of Alcoholics Anonymous was that it might work. Wow. I might look for a job. I might find one. And then I'd have to show up. I'd hear people talk. I and my wife, we got back. It is just nice. I got a job. It's just nice. We got this new dog, it's just nice, and everybody's being happy, and I'm sitting there. When is it my turn? When is all this stuff going to happen for me? I've been to 3 meetings. Does that sound familiar? That's why you guys are laughing. Some of you could relate to me. My first year, I went to 1,156 meetings. First year, I spoke over 700 times. I didn't have any time to drink. I should have went to Meeting Anonymous. But you know what? Every meeting I went to, that first sentence spoke to me. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Man, I like those odds. Rarely. How could I relate to that word, rarely? When somebody asks me, Opie, when you go hunting for deer, you ever miss? I go, rarely. Now I got to relate to that word, thoroughly. When I was down the skids at the Rainier Hotel, I had 2 or 3 tables that were mine. And if there's somebody on those tables passing out and there's a dollar bill hanging out of their pocket, my money. And if somebody got close to him, mine. And when he passed out, I thoroughly went through every pocket. So I know thoroughly. It's like dig deep and get at her. And sometimes the money would be in the sock, and it was sticky. Still good. I remember going to meetings when I was in and out of Alcoholics Anonymous. And if there was no Indians, shitty meeting. If there's Indians, good meeting. We can talk about our wagon burning days. We may have tried to burn one of your wagons. But this time when I came back, I got de-Indianized. Because I heard Dan George speaking one time at Vine Street in Vancouver Friendship Center. And he got up and he said, my people, my people, I have a soul sickness. I blame on God for everything. And I'm getting better today. My heart is healing. I am forgiving people. My soul is well. And I got to tell you this, that I think this way in 2 ways and in this order. 1, I am a human being who is sick and who wants to help other human beings get better. 2, I am an Indian and I'm proud of it. Whoa! Well, I go to meetings after that. I wasn't even looking for Indians. Who cares? I decided to listen to the Caucasians speak. Some of you guys are crazy. Some of you guys are wilder than us. You guys blew the wagons up. We took our time and burnt them down. But no matter what, the wagons were destroyed. Now on the reserve, they call us the high-tech Indians because we blow them up now. We use a French bomb, le boom. Why? You've been sober a long time, Opie. Why? Why do you go to meetings still? I go because there may be a newcomer there. There may be somebody sober just one day that needs to hear the story of hope, that there is a life without drugs and alcohol. That's why I go. Well, what is it all about? What's the magic? What helps you there? Laughter. In the Bible it says laughter is good medicine, for it will heal the weary bones and the weary souls. We come in here and I tell you, we laugh at shit we did before, eh? Puking in the toilet bowl, holding my eyeballs so they don't pop. Too lazy to make ice, so I put my head against the toilet bowl. Oh, I love this toilet bowl. Those white guys finally made something right. And the reason why we can laugh today is because we are no longer doing it. So when the newcomer comes in and we laugh about puking, farting on both ends or whatever, what's so funny? You will catch on one day. I tell people I'm here. I kid you not, because I'm not all there. Don't laugh. You're listening to me. When a whole bunch of people like us that are not all there and we get together, we's happy. I've never seen so much meat get cooked at one time. You guys do volume. Wow. When I first came in, couldn't believe the friendliness. I couldn't believe the hype and the excitement and the good feelings about being sober. I couldn't. And I remember going to a mountain highway meeting one time, and gee, that's a big meeting. It is a couple of hundred people there, and they got like 14 white guys lined up to greet you. I'm going, holy smokers. It's good to see you. Welcome to Mountain Highway. And I shake their hands. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And they were all friendly. And I'd go sit down in a chair and I'd look back and I'm going, I wonder if those guys know I'm an Indian. Wow. I could get over this. I tried it again. I went out the other door, eh? Good to see you. Keep coming back. Welcome to Mountain Highway. Wow. They didn't care what color I was. That's neat. I love it. I fit in. I look at this program as a most non-threatening environment where the cowboys and Indians can sit amongst each other and get along. I bet if you used to pass a whole slew of gallons of wines around, it would be a different story. We're doing Salt Spring Island a favor, every one of us here. We're doing them a favor because we are not drinking. Saturday night, if we were drinking, no more island. All the tourists will go home broke. Oh, boy. I just love the laughter. Laughter is incredible. I heard this old fella at a meeting. He says, I've been sober 6 months and I'm quite happy. I got my own apartment. I got food in the cupboard. I got friends, lots of friends. I'm happy with my sobriety. I'm really happy. As a matter of fact, last week I had my first sexual experience in a long time and quite enjoyed it. It's just hopefully next time I have someone with me. I just love the way you guys figure that one out quick. My second year, my sobriety, I went to 40 million meetings and everything, and my sponsor said, it's time to work the program. What? I've been to a lot of meetings and stuff like that. He says, no, it's time to work the program. Take the steps. Okay. So I went to Mount Paul Church on the res. Monday, I think it was Monday night, to take the steps in one night. When I got there, we did step 1, and then it was it. He said, see you next week. I said, what do you mean? He said, for step 2. Son of a bitch, I was pissed off at my sponsor. He's talking about 12 weeks. I wanted to fire him. So after I finished the 12 steps, I went to see him like happy, proud. I achieved something. I wanted a trophy. I wanted a certificate of completion. All he said was, take him again. Guess what? I took him again. And this time, when I went through it, I didn't tell him. I didn't go to him when I was finished. I took him again, and again, and again. 72 consecutive weeks of steps. If you want to recover and are willing to go to any length to get what we got, take the steps. I took a little 4. Next time I took a little bigger 4 and 5 and a little bigger bite. That's all I can do is take little bites. I'm alcoholic. I want it all at once, but when I come in, I just want a little bit. After 72 weeks, it was not knowing about Alcoholics Anonymous, the steps and the traditions and stuff like that. It was not just knowing. It was learning how to apply it in your daily life. You know, going to a meeting is really nice, to go to a meeting for 1 hour and say all these things people may want to hear and say the things that are hurting you and all that. And you're there for 1 hour, and when you leave, guess what? There's 23 more hours you got to make it through. Whew. I love cake. It shows. I love cake. When somebody's getting a birthday cake, I go. When they make an announcement, so-and-so is getting a birthday cake at Oak Street, a participation group, dugout, so-and-so is getting a cake, I go. Because where there's cake, there's sandwiches. That's how I lived, eh? cake and sandwiches and going from meeting to meeting. Just loved it. I loved first-year cakes. How did you make it through your first year? Some of it made it easy because they got in there like a dirty sock. Some of them was tough because they didn't. You can grow as fast or as slow as you want in this program. If you want to grow slow, go to one meeting a year. It will show. I remember I went to a Ocala meeting. And I went to the gate. I forgot my ID, my picture card. And the new guard said, we can't let you in here without your picture ID. I come here every Tuesday. I'm sorry. I said, please let me in. I've been in Ocala many times serving time, and here I am begging to get in. I said, I'm sorry, we can't let you in. So I walked away to the car, Eric Pincombe's car, to wait for him. Like a sad kid kicking a can. I was walking away, and I got about from here to that post, and the guard said, excuse me, come on in. I come in and I start running down. He says, no running. All the guards got nervous in the tower. Eh? So I walk fast. We had the meeting, but that problem wasn't over. They won't let me out. No, you see, I wanted to fit in with the prisoners, kind of looked like, and I had a green work shirt just like them, and Eric left, and I was going to go and says, hold it. We have an extra person here. I said, that's me. And they said, yeah, right. No, I'll come here every week. Tell me another one. So they had recount 2 or 3 times. And finally Eric came back and he says, what are you doing, Opie? I said, they won't let me go. And finally Eric said, he's with me. And that guard said, you wear something different when you come back. The next time I showed up, I had this Hawaiian shirt. Palm trees, pineapples, everything. You knew I was from the street. Still alcoholic, trying to fit in. You know, Alcoholics Anonymous, I heard this. It's just like the mafia, hey? It's like the mafia. Wherever you go in the world, there's family. In AA, there's family, eh? And if you leave, you die. About 3 weeks ago, I just celebrated 30 years. I used to wonder, does this program work for Indians? Yep. I went home, I moved home 25 years ago. And I told my mom, Mom, I want to get a truckload of big books. I want to get a truckload of Bibles and pass it around the cold water reserve. Because, Mom, I want to save the Indians. She just laughed. She said, don't bother, son. Don't bother. Do what you do. Go to your meetings. Live your life sober. Go to your church. The people here on this reserve, they're watching you. They're watching you. They know when you go to town. They know when you come home. They know how much groceries you take out of your car. She shouldn't have told me that. I got nervous, eh? They're watching you. They knew what you were like when you were drinking and fighting and carousing, and they're just full of distrust. So it's going to take them a while to see that you have changed. Sometimes I used to wonder if my mom had the big book or the Bible under her bed, because she was wise. 2.5 years later, I got a knock on the door. Opie, I want to do something about my drinking. Come on in. Put the coffee on. A couple of weeks later, somebody knocked. I want to do something about my drugging. They come at nighttime when it's dark. Now they come at daytime when it's daylight. And they boast about it. I'm going to Opie's to get counseling. Because I don't want to drink no more. He quit for many years, and he's helping my dad. He's helping my uncle. I want to go to Opie's. In the daylight they come. Of all the houses and the buildings and the counseling centers and the schools and that, in our reserve, every one of them has either been vandalized, broken into, or whatever. But there is one building on that reserve, smack in the middle of the reserve, that's untouched. It's my studio, the place I live, untouched. Because it's a place of help. It's a spiritual place. It's a place given to me by God. When that place opened up, we prayed that everything that's said in it, done in it, be pleasing to the Creator's eyes. What a gift. I said I will never, ever move back to the reservation again. Ever. I looked at the reserve map. My studio's in the middle. And every time I said that, I didn't hear God say, "Is that right?" My greatest worries when I moved home is that, all the people I drank with, fought with, whatever, and partied with and that, they're going to come to the house and get me drinking again and stuff like that. It doesn't work that way. I tell you, because I go to church and I go to meetings and everything that, I'm the last house they want to go to. Because I might want to save them. I have 2 songs I just love. Favorite songs? Amazing Grace. The line I like is, I once was blind, but now I see. I once was blind, but now I see. And the other one is one Barbara Streisand sings, people who need people are the luckiest people in the world. I, Philip Raymond Oppenheim, need you people to help me stay sober another day, one more day. I'm the luckiest person in the world. I achieved many things in sobriety. Sobriety and success and different things that's come my way. I'm just about doing everything I wanted to do that I fantasized about. I remember telling my mom, I'd be drunk, eh? Mom, one day I'm going to do artwork and paintings and sell it for a lot of money. I'm going to be well known and all that stuff, Mom. Mm-hmm. Then I'd pass out. Another time I'd be high on drugs. I'd go, Mom, guess what? One day I'm going to try that stand-up comedy. If Bill Cosby, George Carlin and all of them, if they can do it, I can. Red Skeleton, yep. I think I'm a funny Indian. Mm-hmm. Then I'd nod out. Then I'd say, Mom, one day I'm going to smarten up my life, and then I'm going to go out there and help other people smarten up and get into motivation and stuff like that. By this time, she got fed up with me. Son. Yes, Mom? Quack, 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 quack. That's all you do. Talk. That's all you do. Talk, 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 talk. When are you going to do it? I'm sick and tired of hearing you quacking and talking. And she literally said this to me. When I go take a shit, I don't tell anybody. I just go take a shit and wipe my ass and flush the toilet. I don't tell anybody. I don't talk about it. I do it. That's no way to talk to a sensitive alcoholic like me. So I went out and I studied art. I apprenticed under Tate. I studied art, bought paints, started to paint and stuff like that. Got into jewelry, and I went out and I stayed sober, and I started doing motivation talks for big companies, and I went out and studied comedians, bought their tapes, and then I tried stand-up comedy. Today, my artwork is all over the world. I do keynote speaking and motivation talks for big companies. And I travel around as a stand-up comic. My stage name is the Cool Warrior. What's a cool warrior? It's you people. You are cool warriors. A cool warrior to me is thankful to the Creator for another day of sobriety. Thank you for another day. A cool warrior to me is someone who wants to pass it on. A cool warrior to me is when someone says the black, the white, the yellow man, and the red man, equal people. No worse, no better. All the cool warriors I've ever met that are truly warriors that I know of is you people. Thank you for showing me that. Thank you for showing me what a cool warrior is. We're just one big happy tribe, eh? That's what we are. It's just that some of us got out of the oven early. Some of us got burnt. The First Nation people like this, some of us are just right. I sneak in the odd thing I do in comedy in my talks, and this was one of them. You know, I had a nightmare last night. One of the worst nightmares I ever had, and I don't think I'll ever get over it. I know I'll never get over it. I dreamt I was a white man. It's not funny because I had to pay taxes. I had to move off a reserve and get a job. Hey. I like this, and white men have organized crime. Indians have chief and council. One of the things I had a hard time with in the program was hugs. I used to get terrified of hugs. How? Anything to do with hugs and that it reminded me of sexual abuse and bad things. Nice things were said before I was touched. So that's why I had a hard time with kindness and good words and hugs. And my sponsor, big bus driver Barry, he was a hugging guy. I was at Gastown meeting at Nooner, and I was standing there before the meeting started, and my sponsor was at the door. I said, "Oh shit, it's Barry." Opie! Opie! I said, "Oh no, here we go." Good to see you, Opie. He'd hug me, as far as I think, too long. And I found myself talking to the side of my motor. Let go. My sponsor told me, Opie, you gotta practice these principles in all your affairs. I had a smirk because I was laughing about the affairs. He said, I'm not talking about that. You got to practice these principles in everything. And I'm going, you mean like at work? He said, yep. Shit. Shit. If I rewrote the book, I would say to practice these principles in all your affairs except work. Because there was a lady there I fought with on a daily basis. Her name was Barb. It seems like it was a daily thing. We fought verbally. We were printers. We got to do the yellow first. No, we got to do the red first. No, you use retarder. No, you got to use turpentine. This is tough. Sometimes I want to kick her teeth in. But I can't because she was bigger than me. So one day I got this brilliant idea. Friday night it was. I'm going to be nice to Barb. For 1 week, I'm going to be nice to her. And if things don't work out, I'm going to shoot her. So all day Saturday, I'm going, what am I thinking? Sunday, I'm going, gee. Finally, Sunday night said, I got to go through with this. I'm going to be nice to Barb. So Monday morning, I showed up for work. Good morning, Barb. And she went, to me, it sounded like, good morning, Opie. And at nighttime, I said, have a nice evening, Barb. To me, it sounded like, you too, Opie. Second day, same thing. Third day, it got a little easier. Fourth day, I meant it. Good morning, Barb. You have a good evening, Barb. It got easier. Friday, she quit. Thank you, AA. My boss called me into the office and he said, Barb, quit. And I tried to look sad. I go, is that right? I said, what happened? She just came in and asked for her pay, her holiday pay, and all she said before she left was, she can't stand you. The program works. But you know what the beautiful part of this story is? About 2 weeks later, my boss said to me, Opie, is it possible for me to come to one of those meetings? Wow. I took him to a meeting. And then he called me in the office on a Monday and he says, what you're doing is a good thing. Because you see, who really wants to go and do something about her drinking is my wife. And she started to go to meetings. Wow. Carry the message, show the message, live the message, believe in each other. I didn't do that for 11 years. I remember when I was 3 years sober, an old-timer said, it does get easier after 30 years. It does. I tell you, this next thing I'm going to share is scary. I called my family together and I called a family meeting. Don't ever do that unless you're ready. I said, family, we're going to get together and we're going to share good things, bad things, be honest. Put it on the table. Dad's sober. I am ready. I had no idea what I was in for. No idea. My oldest one put her hand up. Can I be first, Dad? I said, yes. Dad, when you go do that stand-up comedy, you make a lot of money, and you sell your artwork, and you make a lot of money, and you go to the prisons, and you talk to the prisoners about drug-free and alcohol-free life, and you go to the AA roundups, and you do this, and then you do that, and I'm like this, yes? She says, Dad, sometimes we don't give a shit. And I remember biting my cheek. I could taste the blood. And inside my head, I was thinking, where do you think you get your piano lessons from? Where do you think you get your Adidas and Nike shoes and your skates and your ungrateful little... And the thing that came out of my mouth was, who the hell called this meeting? And all of them at once said, you did. I've been hit by many sledgehammers, but this hurt. That truth, if it's a negative thing, hurts. When are we going to go fishing? When are we going to have picnics? When are we going to do things together? You are our dad, for fuck's sake. That's what she said. So I went to my calendar. and I marked off every second gig I had going, whether it be comedy, motivation, or whatever. Dad, you don't have to do that. Yes, I do. I phoned all the people. I said, I'm going to have to cancel this. Something important has come up. Some of them didn't like it. Some of them were okay with it. And we moved the engagement. But on that day, we all did something. And they took turns in what they wanted to do. They went to hockey games. We went to dinner. We went for fishing. And we did a camp out. And my kids were happy. They showed me that recovery and Alcoholics Anonymous begins at home. At home. And I thought the meeting was over. Whew. I don't know how I survived this. Whew. Then my son said, Dad, can I talk to you by yourself? Sure. So the mother and the kids left. The daughters went outside. And I looked at my son David. He was 12 years old. He started to cry. He started to cry. I said, David. And he cried. I was sitting on the couch and he was sitting on the carpet and he was crying. I said, David. And he looked at me and he said, Dad, did you ever thought of hugging me? Have you ever thought of holding me? Dad, when you go to those AA roundups when it's close by and we're with you, you know how those people line up and they give you hugs, Dad? I want to line up, Dad, for one of your hugs. We held each other and we cried. We cried. I missed the boat. I missed everything that Alcoholics Anonymous meant to be. Don't leave your family or your kids out, because they're the ones that suffered the most. That's where all the healing's got to begin, in your home. I said, son, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do, Dad. I said, we're going to hug any place, anywhere, anytime. And he said, okay. We'd be walking down the mall, and he goes, and we'd hug. We'd be playing pool, and he puts his stick down, and we'd hug. And the kid says, my dad doesn't do that. And my son says, my dad does. You know, I haven't seen him for a while, so when I go home, I know we're going to hug. And we're going to hug. And when he's finished, he's going to put me down. Because he's grown up since. Recovery begins at home. The nucleus of our program should be in our house. If your house is in order, everything around you is going to fall into place. Do I have some grandparents in this room? Let's give a hand to the grandparents. I love my grandchildren. Oh, you can spoil the snot out of them. Just love them. Eat the sugar out of the bowl, who cares? Spill the milk, spill the milk. Burn the house down, I don't care. We'll build another one. Rot your teeth. And we send them back. It's payback time. I had a chance to look after my granddaughter for 4 days. And I found it really easy, because I just used the one diaper. Well, on the package it says can hold up to 24 pounds. No shit. I was thinking, what a sight, eh? What a sight that must have been when the Indian first saw the white man blow his nose. I would love to have been there when we saw the white man first blow his nose, as they take the hanky out, bong, and then they look at it, and then they save it. Whatever happened to Hong? My one arm was always shiny. Are you people happy? There's a story that I share. And there's this picture I paint. I want to paint in your minds. And it's the story of the garden. There's this mother doing her gardening. Garden hat, the ribbon, the garden gloves, the little signs, raspberries, just a gardening way, having a good time gardening, and the daughter sitting on the steps with nice clothes on. The picture looks beautiful. Sometimes in our life, the picture can look beautiful. And then the mother gets up and talks to the lady across the fence, and they talk about their gardens. Oh, I tried raspberries last year, it didn't work. Quick, 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 quick. And the picture still looks good. Some of you are going to relate to this later. It still looks good. Until the mother walks up to the daughter and says, "How are you doing, babes?" "I'm doing okay, Mom, but..." "But what, babes?" "Mom, sometimes I wish I was your garden. So you could spend a lot of time with me. Sometimes I wish I was your garden so you could talk to that lady across the fence about me. Mom, sometimes I really wish I was your garden." There are gardens in our life. Could be a 4x truck. It could be a job. It could be a new relationship. It could be anything that looks good. But it's all it is. It looks good. That's all. The kids still suffer. So the Creator gave us gardens to look after the little ones, the grandchildren and the children, so that we could nourish and grow up to be good people. Some of us may want to look at that garden that was given to us, the gift. It's hard to do that, though, unless you're looking after yourself and you allow other people to look after you. So I came in here and allowed all you people to be my gardeners. And shit, you're doing a good job. I just love it. I tell people, if you like what you hear, all it is a progress report on what you've been doing for me. Woo! I remember when I used to shave, I'd look in the mirror. I can't even look at myself because of the abuse and the remorse and the stuff I did in my life. I can't look at myself when I shave. I was ashamed of what happened to me and what I did as an alcoholic. Shit, when I was shaving the other day, I was looking in the mirror, and oh, you dog, you. Matter of fact, when I get home, I'm going to get a bigger mirror so I can see all of me. Wow. That can happen for you. Your best friend is the one you see in the mirror. Look after that person. Your best friend. I'm honored to be here. It's a privilege to be here. This is my 88th roundup that I spoke at. I tell my sponsor, I shut the business down for Friday. I shut the business down for Saturday and travel to speak and share a recovery story. That's what I do. He says, I know. It used to bother me before. He says, but you never had a business before. So go. So go. A lot of you have heard me speak at different roundups. A lot of you have heard me speak at Mountain North Shore Roundup. A lot of you are asking how things are going for my wife and daughter. No good. My wife and daughter both have cancer and they're terminal. They could go any day, which is okay, because I know they're going to a good place. My wife's been sober 28 years. And I always ask her before I go anywhere, I said, sweetheart, Salt Spring Islands asked me to go speak at a roundup. What should I do? She says, go. Because if I go to hospital and I'm getting ready to go home, I ain't going to go until you stand by the bed. So go. You were put on this earth to make a difference in other people's life. And those people at Salt Springs are going to make a difference in your life. And I say this from the inner middle of the bottom of my heart, that the most bestest and the most relaxing and the most peaceful and the most enjoyable roundup I've ever experienced was this one. I come here and I see the tents go up. It's an Indian thing. I come here and I see a lot of dogs. It's like the reserve. And I come here and I see the children playing and getting along. It's like my grandchildren and our children on the res, because a lot of us are sober enough. So you people for the few days have been showing me what's happening on my res. You sure know how to make me feel at home. Wow. Somebody got turned off when we looked at those little animals. I says, those could be big dogs. Yeah. For those who pray, I ask you, pray for my wife Karen, pray for my daughter Julie Lynn. They really need prayer. And some of you, after this meeting, if you feel kind of like drained, it is me. Because I come to here to get better. I come here to get energy from you. And when I look out, I'm standing up here, when I look out here, I see medicine people. I see medicine men, medicine women, people who talk and walk the program. You have to be doing something right to take some time out of your life to catch a ferry and drive or fly or however you got here to look after yourself and to look after each other and to look after me. Wow. You are examples of Alcoholics Anonymous to me, my medicine people. I'd like to play, if you don't mind, a flute for you. If I was ever to give this tune a name, I would call it, Let Go, My Friend. Let go. Let go of someone you may have lost. Let them go to a journey to the other side. Let go of an argument you might have had with your partner and say hello to making up. Let go of something ugly and say hello to something beautiful. But there's something in some of you people's heart that you need to let go. And if you had to have traveled all the way over here to do it, now is the time. So I call this, Let Go, My Friend. Let go. And I play this for every one of you. I play this for my wife. I play this for Julie Lynn.